What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Dima on couple music. So guys, this is an interesting story today. I received a particular email about this particular TikToker, and she is, a BBW. In fact, she kind of reminds me of like George Wallace from The Wash. If we could put her photo and George Wallace next to one another, she resembles him very much so. But I'm not here to talk about looks because I'm not the sexiest person in the world. Stop the show. I'm actually the second sexiest person in the world. I know you're mad. It is not my fault. But she posted a controversial TikTok video in which she talked about the 9 things that a man needs to do to pretty much get married to her. These are the 9 qualities that she is looking for in a husband. So I want to particularly play that particular clip right now, guys, and I want you to hear these things as we go by line, and we'll come right back and talk about that.
Here are a list of things I expect men to do in marriage. Number 1, pay the rent, mortgage, and utilities. So that's like the rent, the water, and like the electric. You know what I'm saying? And then if you have a home, like the property tax and the mortgage insurance, all that good stuff. Number 2, to do most of the cooking. I cook, but I don't really like to cook. So it's really a plus when I meet a guy who is really good at cooking. And there are actually a lot of men that are great cooks. Number 3, the dishes. I don't like doing the dishes, so it would be great to have a man that just took that chore off of my hands because I don't like to do the dishes. Number 4, do the laundry. And when I say do the laundry, I don't just mean like put the clothes in the wash. I mean like the whole process. Put the clothes in the wash, put the clothes in the dryer, put them up, iron what needs to be ironed, fold what needs to be fold. Like do the whole thing from A to Z. Number 5, take out the trash. I don't like to take out the trash. Number 6, any yard work or housework. Now, he doesn't necessarily have to like fix it. Like if there's like a broken pipe or something, like he doesn't have to fix it, but he does have to be responsible in calling whoever to make sure that it is fixed. So it's just his responsibility. Number 7, upkeep the car. So that includes any tire changes that need to be made, any oil changes that need to be made, putting gases in the car, making sure the cars are washed, like the whole process of upkeeping the cars from A to Z. Number 8 is date nights at least twice a month, but that actually goes into like any form of recreational activities. So if we're going kayaking, if we're deciding to take a camping trip, if we're deciding to go to a theme park, just at least 2 dates and or recreational activities per month. And number 9, an annual honeymoon. I do want to be one of those couples that takes a honeymoon every year in a different location. I think that's super cute. So definitely an annual honeymoon and then a separate family vacation. So that's 2 big trips per year. So a honeymoon and a separate family vacation. And yes, I expect for him to pay for it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Okay, so let's kind of go over the list one by one. Number 1, she expects a man to pay the mortgage, rent, and utilities. That gets a check mark because, most of the men in any era, in my grandfather's era, he was alive in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. He was, required to do the same thing. So that hasn't changed in today's world, right? So round of applause. I don't disagree. Men are supposed to do, the mortgage and the rent if they can, or most of it, utility bills. That's sometimes iffy. I know sometimes wives pay that, but okay. That thing I don't really have a problem with. But number 2, do most of the cooking. Okay, so you do have some men that cook, but historically, this is a role that a woman does. Now, men typically work more dangerous jobs, typically labor more hours. So if you want him to pay the mortgage and the rent, he's probably going to be needing to invest more of that time to pay the mortgage and the rent. All right. So if you expect him to pay the mortgage and the rent and then come off of work and then do most of the cooking, that doesn't make sense. He's now becoming like like a slave. So he works all day trying to get the mortgage, the rent, and utilities in an inflated economy. Then you want him to come and do most of the cooking also. I don't really agree with this. And again, when you look at some of your other options out there, some of your women that are coming from other communities, white women, some of the women that are coming from Brazil, even other women in the Black American community, they're not gonna have a problem with this like she does. Number 3, wash the dishes. Okay, so let me just say this. I understand that, in the modern era, men wash dishes just like women wash dishes, and women want men to participate in washing dishes. I get it. However, I have been in relationships with women who will never let me wash a dish. It is something that is completely considered a woman's job. And I think if many Black men experience that, they're going to be like, wow, wait a minute. You don't want me to wash the dishes? I'm trying to be a good husband here, a good Black man. No. You don't need to wash the dishes because you're a man, I'm a woman. So I can kind of see that, wash the dishes sometimes. But again, here's a man who's paying most of the bills, and you also want him to do the cooking and wash the dishes. 4, she wants the men to do the laundry. All right. So not only are you supposed to pay all the bills, the majority of them, you need to do most of the cooking, wash the dishes, and do the laundry. Again, a man who is working so hard, like, what is the reason that he's in a relationship with this lady? Shouldn't he just be single? I mean, 'cause this is what you need to do to be single, right? I mean, like, if I'm doing the laundry, why am I here? Now, 5, take out the trash. Okay, give you a check mark there. Most men don't have problems taking out the trash. I take out the trash. I mean, I live in a really nice complex. I used to take out the trash. I don't have a problem with that. 6, yard work or housework. So here's where things get a little confusing. Now, if you want him to pay the mortgage and the rent and utilities and maybe take out the trash and do some yard work and housework, I understand that. But you want him to do most of the mortgage, do most of the cooking, wash the dishes, do the laundry, take out the trash, do the yard work. 7, upkeep the cars. I don't really have a problem with that. Most guys don't have a problem with upkeeping cars. But then look at all that you're asking him to do. You're asking him to do fucking everything. You are a delusional, insane idiot, right? Now, 8, date night at least twice a month. So you want him to do all the stuff and then date you twice a month. Get real. Number 9, annual honeymoon and separate family vacation, which you probably expect him to pay for. Now, I'm not the kind of person to get on people's physical appearances, okay? There's somebody for everybody. But honey, you gotta look at what you're competing against out here. There are many women in America who would love to have a man that would just do 3 or 4 of these things. The first numbers I could tell you: number 1, pay the mortgage and the rent. Okay. 7, upkeep the cars. 8 and 9. That's what most men will probably do. 1, pay the rent. 5, take out the trash. 6, yard work. 7, upkeep the cars. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If women can get guys to do even 4 out of those 10 things, they're going for it. You want a man to do 9 things. Do you know who you're competing against for this kind of man? You're competing against white women. You're competing against Hispanic women. You're competing against Asian women. Women who would die to have a man just to do maybe 1 or 5 of these things. And you expect a man to do all of this. My question is, what do you do? What does he get from you? I can tell you what he gets. Absolutely nothing. And what she's saying is how a lot of women feel, I believe. Maybe not all, but there's a lot. What number is that percentage-wise? I don't know. But there are many women who feel like this. And these men are getting absolutely nothing for their efforts. Why do you think men are just so single now? Why do you think the marriage rates have declined? Because of delusional people such as her. They don't understand where her position is in the market. They don't understand that maybe she might have to bring a whole lot to the table. Like maybe she may need to do all 9 of these things to get a guy, and she expects that a guy's supposed to do all 9 of these things for her. The answer is absolutely no. Right? She is ridiculous. There are so many women, even in the African American community, that are going to be willing to do some of these things. Like, hey, you can't just destroy your man. You want a man to serve you. You don't even care about this man. His guy will die trying to be your husband. Okay? Like, he gets nothing for it. And if any of you guys marry this lady, I'm going to call the cops on you. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. We appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the mail. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.